All right, I think it's safe to say that protein had a pretty big year last year. Protein had people who are not bodybuilders trying to hit 200 grams a day. Cottage cheese is having a renaissance. Everything at the grocery store is now a high protein snack, whether or not it actually is. A stunning rise for the macronutrient, truly. I'm not mad at it. I'm happy for her. But I am here today to start the same movement for fiber. And by movement, I do mean bowel movement. If you found yourself feeling backed up from eating all that protein, fiber is here for you to get things moving. But the thing about fiber is that unlike protein, which can be purchased, fiber kind of has to be earned. That's actually entirely untrue. There are fiber supplements, and you are welcome to take them if you wish. However, fiber by way of food comes with all sorts of vitamins and minerals. It's good to eat a nice variety of those, and it is fun to try new things. So, where is fiber found, perhaps you're wondering? Fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds. Fiber is from plants. Everyone say, "Thank you, plants. Thank you, plants." And in order to demonstrate the joy that fiber from food can be, I am going to make 3 fiber-forward meals and also talk about some snack and some dessert ideas. And if you have a favorite fiber meal, please comment it. We're going to have the entire Sincere on Main cinematic universe digesting so well this year. Meal number 1, stuffed sweet potato. Not only is peeling potatoes very annoying, it is also peeling off fiber. You don't have to peel your potatoes. This applies not just to sweet potatoes, but to all varieties of potato and also to apples. And while we're at it, I often see russet potatoes get like the white bread treatment. But our friend, the russet potato, she is not nutritious just because she is a white potato, especially if you keep on the skin. But today we are having sweet potatoes, skin and all, and we're going to stuff them with a fiber-filled chili. All good chilies and slops begin, of course, with aromatics. So I've got garlic and shallot going in the pan, and then joining them soon after is tempeh, red lentils. They're going in first. They're going to soak up all that delicious oil from the shallot and the garlic. If you wanted to add even more fiber, you could do peppers in your chili. You could use other legumes. You could use corn. I am the world's #1 and maybe only corn hater, so you won't be seeing me do that on here. While that is all getting nice and flavorful in the pan, I am also going to make a nice liquid on the side, which will both cook the lentils and give us the chili texture we desire. I'm doing like a sweet smoky thing, which I think is going to go good with the sweet potato. It's got a can of full fat coconut milk, some blended up chilies and adobo, and a little bit of no chicken base, better than bouillon. Put that in the pot with everything else, cooked it down. When she's done, she looks like this, and she is so good, and she has so much fiber. I put all that in a big bowl as meal prep and put it in the fridge. And then come dinner time, I baked a sweet potato, reheated some chili in the pot, cut the potato in half, put the chili right inside. And then I put some sauerkraut on top because this is like a very hearty meal, and it's nice to have something cold and refreshing to cut that a little bit. Every element of this meal has fiber in it, every last one. I think this is one of the cool things in the plant-based universe is that even the protein has fiber. The plant-based protein is made from plants, some much further removed from plants than others, but plants nonetheless. Same goes for nut cheese instead of dairy cheese. So if you are taking the plant-based option for any of those things, you are going to find fiber in places you have never found it before. Meal number 2, bean and barley soup with Beyond Meatballs. There is even fiber in Beyond Meatballs. Not very much, but that's okay because we have the rest of the soup. We also have the gargoyle. Sylvie, say hi. Okay, the rest of the soup contains shallot, garlic, celery. The soup contains shallot, garlic, celery, barley, white beans, kidney beans, and russet potato. And when reheating it, I added some shredded kale and some freshly crisped Beyond Meatballs. Soup, blended or chunky, is an excellent way to eat a lot of fiber. A lot of grains, a lot of veggies, a lot of legumes. Soup is just like water chili. I made a whole video about learning how to make a good soup, and some of the important things that I gathered and incorporated into this soup were adding a little splash of acid at the end for oomph. So I put a little splash of white vinegar in when I reheat it, and putting a little splash of fat at the end to give veggie broth that more like a viscous feel that comes with an animal broth. So there's a little olive oil as part of the reheating as well. I also just feel like soup is a really, really good place to try a new grain. Barley, buckwheat, quinoa, wild rice, farro. I was pretty deep into being alive. Like I'd say mid-20s when I learned that couscous is not a whole grain. Couscous is just teeny tiny pasta. It does, however, still contain fiber. And all of these things, all of these tiny little carbs, they taste so good floating in broth. Meal number 3, brown rice mushroom risotto with crispy chickpeas and kale. I am a white rice girl through and through. However, this is the fiber video. It would be wrong of me to not use brown rice for it. So we're going to use that. And we're going to use mushrooms. My co-op has a whole variety of interesting interesting mushrooms. So I've gotten a few different kinds. I've chopped them all very tiny. And like everything else that is cooked ever, they are starting off in the pan with some shallot and some garlic and some olive oil. I will link the recipe that I used for instruction on the risotto side of things. Risotto is the toddler of food. It requires near constant supervision. You have to slowly add your liquid and constantly be stirring it. For a dairy-free risotto, as this recipe explains, you alternate adding a little bit of broth and then a little bit of non-dairy milk and then a little bit of broth and then a little bit of non-dairy milk. And you cook that liquid down each time and then you add the next liquid. The recipe did not include any vegan butter, but I did because it's a risotto. And then I also added nutritional yeast, contains fiber, and miso contains fiber at the end, where this recipe adds Parmesan. I also threw in a little shreddy kale at the end and crisped up some chickpeas for the top for even more fiber, and also just crunch because risotto can get a little mushy. Okay. Those are some fiber-forward meal ideas for you. There are also fiber-forward snacks: fruit, popcorn, dates with peanut butter, nuts and seeds, crispy chickpeas or beans, veggies with hummus, edamame. Olipop has 6 to 9 grams of fiber per can. There are even fiber-forward desserts as zucchini bread, crumbles, crisps, fruit pies, anything topped with nuts or seeds, adding fruit or nuts if you're making like a Ninja Creamy protein treat concoction, black bean brownies. What about fiber breakfast, you cry? I have a whole video on plant-based breakfast with like a dozen examples and all of them full of fiber. Yes, 4 of them are different renditions of oatmeal, but I eat a lot of oatmeal. Okay, let me live. Basically, wherever you can add a whole food, a thing that grew out of the ground to your meal, that's going to have fiber in it. And the fun thing about eating more fiber is that you get to try new things. It's about adding stuff to your diet instead of taking away. You can put infinite little things in a soup or a stew. You can bolster something you already like to eat. I love adding chickpeas and little veggies to mac and cheese. Or if you swap an animal-based protein for a plant-based protein. Bada bing. Fiber. I'm going to link a whole bunch of videos I've made that will be helpful in your pursuit of more fiber. With the exception of the Baja Blast pie, I think just about everything that I've ever cooked on this channel has a lot of it. And as always, you need not be a vegan or a vegetarian to eat more plant-based meals or eat more plants in general. Anyone can do that and anyone can reap the benefits of it. Okay, that is fiber. It is in for 2026, I have declared. Please let me know if you jump on the fiber train and how it treats you. And before I go, I have a special announcement. The Sincere on Main Patreon is live. It is patreon.com/sincereonmain. What do you get on there? Great question. There are 2 tiers. Soups and slops. Soups for $5 a month will get a monthly bonus video that is part Q&A and part recipe. There will be a monthly thread to ask questions. I will pick as many of them as is reasonable. I don't know how many there's going to be, so we're going to have to see. And I will answer them. And I will also film a recipe for something I cooked that isn't in one of my main videos. Slops for $10 a month will also get that monthly bonus video, plus a little annual Sincere on Mail, a little package with some sort of collectible, a mini zine, a postcard. I really want to make bumper stickers that say, "Keep honking, I'm making my Near East roasted garlic and olive oil couscous." I don't know exactly what yet, because we're going to call the first month like a pre-order so I can gauge how many of things I should make. All the initial subscribers will get their Sincere on Mail in the first few months of the year, and then people who join later in the year will get it at the time they join. And then the new year will refresh, and the Sincere on Mail will refresh, and everyone will get a new package. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So if you have ideas, requests, feedback, you think it sucks ass and you hate it, please let me know. I can't do early versions of my main videos at this time. I finish most of them within hours of posting them, if not at the time of posting them. But if that ever changes, if that's something people are interested in, that could happen. Maybe no one wants a Q&A and you want something else for a bonus video. We can sort that out on there. Who's to say? For now, this is what it is. Let's give it a go. Also, everyone who subscribes in January on either tier will get a 10% off code for the first merch drop, which should be happening in the next few weeks. That knock on the door halfway through the video is all the transfers that I'm going to make the merch with. The first drop is also going to be fairly small for gauging interest reasons, and then we will go forth from there. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, it is linked in the description. And if you don't want to, that is fine. It will not take away from anything that is happening over here on the main channel, and I will probably only mention it in passing from here on out. Thank you for watching and commenting and being nice and normal. My friends keep telling me that they look at my comments and that they're kind of amazed at how nice everyone is, and I am too. And I have a bunch of stuff I'm really excited to make, and I wouldn't be excited to make it if there weren't people here watching it and saying funny things back to me about it. So thank you and goodbye, and eat a lot of fiber this year. Okay.